Good evening, guys. I am Ryan, back on here with Indiana Weather Online. We have a new severe warning out in effect here for the north of Corridon, south of Palmyra areas. Going to be for northern Harrison County here. This warning is going to be in effect for 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as 1-inch hail. Do a quick mic check here. We're going to go make sure I can be heard from you guys. Pop out the chat. We're going to do all the testing here. Here we go, load it up. Make sure you guys can hear me. Give me a thumbs up in chat if you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to make sure. Perfect. Audio's good. Let's go ahead and start tracking here. So we have 60-mile-per-hour winds as well as quarter-size hail potential moving in along the Fairdale area, Little St. Louis, Hancock Chapel, Palmyra along 150 here, State Route 135, Burnville, or was that Byronville, Crandall, Corridon Junction, Central Barron. Moving east-southeast here at 30 miles per hour. The bulk of the hail core there in purple and the pink areas. Go ahead and animate this. Let it roll to the east-southeast. This is going to be moving very slowly. So along with the hail and wind risk here, we also have a risk for flooding alongside the other severe hazards with this particular system, I will say, or this particular storm. We could have some torrential rainfall that does exaggerate ongoing flooding in the areas that have already been seeing ongoing flooding over the past couple of days in South Indiana. So this is going to be quite interesting to see what kind of effects this is going to have. Again, this is going to be over State Route 64 here. Let's go ahead and pause it and zoom way in here. Hancock Chapel, you're going to be next with this hail. Milltown, you guys just got impacted. Deep Howell, Fairdale, Ramsey, Frenchtown, Little St. Louis, you guys are on deck here. Anywhere you see the darker reds or purples hopping in here, we're going to see some larger hailstones as a possibility. So feel free to tune in. Strap in. We'll be live here once again. We just ended our coverage to try and switch our software. We just did that. You've noticed the new look here. That was on purpose. We wanted to switch to our new software. But now we're back on, rock and rolling here. We had a break in severe, a very brief break at that. But we're back on here live tracking this severe storm. Again, counties included are going to be northern Harrison, very far extreme north and east Crawford, and very far western and northwestern Floyd counties. It's going to be southern Indiana here. This warning in effect here for another, go ahead and pop this on the screen, another 24 minutes, so it goes until right around 7:15 Eastern time. That is the only warning currently out there for Indiana. Go ahead and zoom up. And we're not going to see too much going on out there besides this particular storm. If you guys got questions, feel free to pop those in the chat here. Trying to figure out if my internet speed here is on my end or not. Angie in chat here, do you expect more severe chance for that? Zooming out here, going up here. There is a potential for some more storms, but as of right now, nothing severe. I would expect your threat to be pretty much over, but don't be shocked if you have some lingering rain, perhaps some thunder and lightning there. But as far as severe storms go, you should be fine. Is any of that coming towards the Martinsville, Indiana area? Let's go ahead and zoom up here to the Indianapolis radar. Martinsville, you guys may have some rain, but generally speaking, you guys are also pretty much in the clear. Got some cells popping up here just to your south and west, but those should be moving off to your south and pretty much south and east of you. They're kind of just barely moving out there, and that's due to the lack of wind shear. Can you guys hear me okay? My software here says that I'm lagging hard, so feel free if I'm distorted or just not 100. I can do what I can do here to try to fix that. Is there a risk for tornadoes? I'm going to stop you right there, Latrina. I'm going to say not really. Go ahead and go further. In North Harrison or just wind, hail, heavy rain. So, Latrina, there's not really a risk for tornadoes today. We did have one likely spun up earlier in the Princeton area. That's what we call a mesoscale accident. No wind shear today, very little instability. Two storms merged together there, and it kind of spun something up. It's not something we see too often, but it's also not something that's uncommon, so to speak. The risk for tornadoes today across the state is very low, and the risk for severe weather is tied to these ongoing storms here across southern Indiana. Coming in loud and clear. Thank you, Sue, for that. Yeah, my end of things, it says that my my stream quality is very low right now. So if I'm having issues, feel free to stop me in chat, and I will do my best to fix it. So only one severe warning out here in effect currently on your screen. It's going to be for the Palmyra area here. Hancock Chapel, Fairdale, Central Barron, Corridon Junction. The heaviest is going to be in purple here. That's where the hail likely is falling. Go ahead and turn on the hail tracker here. Just kind of see what we got going on. Let it load in here. Not much in the way of anything that says like, hey, this is big hail. But we do have some indication that we do have some hail falling in this general vicinity of this storm. So do take it seriously. Again, this storm is moving very slowly off to the east-southeast. Moving towards State Route 135 here, Corridon Junction, Crandall, Byronville. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is it Burnville or Byronville? I don't know. Somebody help me in chat here. Fairdale, Moberly. Zooming way in here. 64 is also up in box. This storm is moving very slowly, so torrential rainfall is also a threat with this storm. And with the ongoing flooding here, I would definitely be prepared for potential exaggerated flooding concerns with this particular storm. I look fine, or I'm looking like I'm lagging, I sound fine. I just don't know what's going on with that. I apologize, guys. Probably a internet upgrade here in store. So this warning in effect until 7:15 p.m. Eastern includes the northern half of Harrison County, the very far extreme northwest corner of Floyd, and also the extreme northeast corner of Crawford. Warnings in effect here for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. Turn on the wind velocity tracker here. We're going to notice a couple things could be happening here. We do have a little bit of a downburst signature showing up here on radar. The reds are indicating winds going away from the radar. The greens are going toward the radar. They kind of indicate that we could have some downburst winds occurring here, but over more severe in terms of the winds. But these kind of storms can be. This is going to be for 50-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-size hail. This is going to be for the counties of Washington as well as the very far extreme western portion of Clark County. Places included in that statement are going to be New Pekin, Borden, Martinsburg, Salem, New Philadelphia, New Salem, South Boston, and New Liberty. Statements are the blue boxes. Warnings are the yellow boxes. Statements are a step below a severe warning. For there to be a severe warning, you need winds of 58 miles per hour or greater, hail that is over 1 inch in diameter or quarter size. Anything below that would get a statement. Where did it hit in Indiana? That would be the Princeton area. That's going to be, I assume you're talking about the possible tornado that occurred a few hours ago. That's going to be the Princeton area. That's where we had a debris ball on radar and where the sheriff is reporting damage. Both posts of those, if you want to go back on our timeline and kind of go see it for yourself. I shared a video from the sheriff there, and I also shared the radar image on both accounts. So feel free to go back and check that. It happened about 90 minutes to 2 hours ago or so. Yeah, Martinsville area, I can go ahead and talk about that again. Martinsville, you're on the northern edge of thunderstorms currently, but they're not really doing much of anything. So even though you could get a sprinkle or a rain shower, perhaps perhaps a storm, I would not expect there to be any severe weather up there in Martinsville. I'm going to try to do something here. I'm going to attempt to stop screen share, and I'm going to try to reconnect it here in hopes that it helps my quality, which I don't think it will, but it's worth a shot. Yeah, it didn't do anything. One warning in effect here, and that's going to be for the Palmyra area. Harrison County, Eastern Crawford, Western Floyd. This is where the warning is. Of this cell does end up getting a warning. Would not be shocked at all. Currently in a statement for 50-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-size hail. So that is going to be just below severe limits. That's going to be for the Washington and Clark County areas. So don't be shocked if you see another yellow box pop in here for this particular cell. But as the time being, this is the only warning in effect here. It's going to follow State Route 64 here to the east and south toward Georgetown, but it is moving very slowly here. So that's the good news. It's not going to be on top of you very fast, but the bad news is because there's a lot of rain happening here, it's going to pour and pour very hard. So it's going to exaggerate the flooding concerns. Bedford, you should be just fine. Again, we could have some showers and storms up your direction, but overall, the concern for severe weather, I believe, is winding down here up in Bedford. Wouldn't rule out one or two more thunderstorms for you, but I don't think the instability is high enough to sustain more rounds of severe weather. Go ahead and animate this one more time here for you guys to kind of get an idea of where it's heading. Zooming way in here, we're going to see a weakening trend with this particular cell. We're going to notice the yellows turning to greens, the reds turning to oranges, and eventually yellows. That's good news. We're losing some strength here, but with the loss of the strength of the storm, that means the updraft is likely collapsing, which can mean we do get downbursts, which mean heavier winds are possible at this current time. So as the storm collapses, winds come down all directions. They kind of spread outwards from the storm, and that's what we get some downbursts or perhaps microbursts occurring, which can lead to damaging winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour. Going to flip over here to velocity on the wind here. I'm not seeing that on radar, but I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple areas with some gustier winds here, especially down close to State Route 135 here, Little St. Louis, Moberly, Fairdale, those general areas, as well as on the backside of the storm toward Marengo or Hogtown. Wouldn't be shocked to get some winds on the backside of this either. Yeah, kind of zooming out here, there's nothing really prolific happening besides this particular area we're tracking now. Going up here, starting to the north, there's no threat at all north of Indianapolis. There's no instability up there. There's no storms occurring. We have some showers that are dying, essentially, heading toward the Bloomington area. I don't think they're going to make it there, honestly. Kind of animate this and play it. You're just going to see a dying trend with these storms, which is good news. They're not really moving that much, and they're not really strengthening, which is great. So they're going to dump some rain where they're at because they're not really moving that much, but they're also not strengthening or forming into bigger storms, which is really good news. Further south here, take the Evansville radar. We're not going to see too much going on down here. We do have a couple cells out here in southern Illinois, which could move our way, but the concern for that will be quite low as we move into the sunset. We're going to lose daytime heating, which is going to zap, should I say, the instability out of the atmosphere, which is leading to these storms. We're going to see a weakening trend even with these storms here. We're going to see those purple hail cores on them that are kind of weakening down to just some darker reds there. Only one warning here in effect, and that is also dying as well. So we call these popcorn cells or instability showers or storms. They go up with the heat of the day. They feed off the instability that builds from the sun, from the warmth and moisture, but they don't have anything to sustain themselves. They don't have wind shear. They don't have, mechanisms in the atmosphere to help drive these and sustain them. They pop up and they die pretty fast, which is a short-lived threat, but still a threat to track nonetheless. This cell to the north appears to be stronger now than the cell that's currently warned. Again, this cell to the south likely putting out some strong outflow winds all around this. I'll go ahead and draw a circle here. Even on the north side, even the back side of this, would not be shocked to get some heavier downburst winds occurring in this general area, again, around the Harrison County area, maybe the eastern part of Crawford, the western part of Floyd, maybe the southern part of Washington as well. And perhaps down by Corydon as well, getting some gusty winds. But in terms of the current strongest storm, in terms of updraft, this one is taken over. It's not warned currently. Would not be shocked to see a warning get slapped on it. So New Pekin, Shorts Corner along State Route 135 here, Becks Mill, Oregon Springs. In fact, I believe we just got one issued. Did I see that correctly? Did it go away on my screen? I thought I saw a new warning box pop in there. I could be wrong. But we are going to check out the VIL on this, which is a hail tracker. I could have swore I saw a new yellow box get issued, but I guess I was wrong. The hail tracker not saying I was right. I thought I saw something pop in there. Clark and Washington County, new severe warning until 7:45 Eastern time for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Give me 1 second to get the graphic uploaded on the page here. We just talked about where it's heading, where it's over, so we have some time here to breathe just for a second. Go ahead and pop this graphic on the pages. Bear with me, I'm working solo here. I got Joel in the background, but he is currently driving back to home base. He'll be there to help when he gets back, but in the meantime, I'm running things solo. So just kind of bear with me here. All right, there we go. Graphics are now posted, and I'm going to jump back in here. So we just talked about how that cell became stronger, the dominant cell, and that is just what happened here. New severe warning got issued. Would not be shocked at this point. This one expires in 4 minutes, so likely let it run out there. Run out, though. I would expect them to continue that, but wouldn't be shocked they cancel early. Not much going on there. We can actually see the dying phase. Look how fast that went from purples to yellows, and now it's changing over to green. So that's going to be dead here in the next couple of minutes. So that's really good news. But as that occurs, the outflow winds from this storm can push out. I think that's exactly what's happening here. As those winds rush out of that one storm that's dying to the south, it does rush into the storm to the north, and it does feed off that outflow wind, which is why you saw this one intensify very rapidly there. We also could see that effect with this storm too for other cells in the area. Go further up here to the north and to the east around Scottsburg. These cells, if this one decides to die and push out outflow, it could strengthen these cells or these cells even. So we'll have to watch that here, kind of like handing off to each other as the evening goes on. But I do think the overall trend here, zooming out again, everything's dying. So I think we're kind of coming to the end of our severe coverage. Obviously, we're not going to hop off now. We have 2 severe warnings in effect. We don't stop coverage in the middle of doing so. Once all the warnings expire here, or at least they are about to expire, we will hop out of here and hopefully say all clear for the evening. Obviously, we hope after this one warning it's going to be over, but we could still see a couple more severe storms, especially across the southern counties here of Indiana over the next hour or two. If you guys got questions, feel free to pop those in chat. Radar is indicating hail up to 1.3 inches in diameter. Again, hail on radar estimated is not always accurate, but it does indicate that, hey, we have some probably large hail going on here around that inch, maybe inch and a quarter size, which is $0.50 in diameter, around that area. Again, let's go ahead and zoom in on this. Go ahead and stop the animation. Just south of Salem, State Route 135 being impacted right now. About to cross over, New Pekin, Old Pekin, Harristown, Canton, State Route 60. This is over you guys right now. We're about to be over you guys. Hail on radar indicating 1.19 inch now, so a good drop there. But it does have a decent hail core on it. Let me go ahead and flip over here to VIL, which is our... Let it load in here. Still not seeing too much on it. I'll go ahead and actually radar handle on it. Let's go ahead and refresh that. 2 here. There we go. You guys should be seeing that pop on your screen here in a couple seconds, which should be now. Hopefully. There it goes. So this is going to be that area here, south of Salem. Same warning, same cell, little bit different look here. If I switch it over here to the hail tracker, you're going to see there is your bigger hail. Radar indicating 1.19 inch in diameter. See a comment here, check velocity. There's not much happening with velocity on this one. No bright greens, no bright reds, no rotation. We are getting a little bit of a downburst signature there where the hail is. That's pretty common with these cells here. We see that green triangle on your screen. That's where we're seeing a little bit of a downburst, but it's not a significant signal to warrant mention of, you know, significant wind gust or anything tornadic at all. There's no rotation I see with this storm. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to flip back over here to my other radar because I like it a little bit better for broadcast. I believe we're also going to see a little bit of a strengthening trend with this cell out ahead with this one over here in Clark County. No warning on this one yet, but it does bear watching here over the Marysville and Otisco area. New Market, New Washington area. We'll watch that. Like I said before, about 5 or 10 minutes ago, as the outflow winds from this storm surge out, it may strengthen the stuff out ahead of this. So we'll have to keep an eye on this area here. I just circled on your screen for anything that kind of fires up here in the next hour or two. Bulk of the hail core now is going to be just to the south of town of Salem here. Turn on the correlation coefficient tracker, which is going to give us some size of the atmospheric droplets. We're not seeing much of anything out there that really indicates large hail. We do have some scattered little specks there, which could indicate some, small to medium-sized hail, but nothing here that signifies, hey, we have large hail happening here. Nothing like that going on. Velocity looks weak on this as well. Good news. Our updraft strength appears to be weaker as well. I believe the storm is about to start dying on itself, if I had to guess. Hail tracker is not updated yet. Hail on radar now down to 1.17 inch hail. Just over severe limits, according to radar. What's up, Ashley from South Boston? In South Boston, we had a tornado last week. Hopefully a nice storm just coming through. Yeah, I wouldn't really expect anything for tornadoes tonight for you. But I will say you are on the edge of the storm, and as of right now, I do think there's potential for some and darker red zone as it moves your direction here. So I would be inside and away from your windows. I don't radar indicating about an inch hail here, but looking on radar products, I don't see much in the way of support for an inch hail. So not to say it's not going to happen, but I do think potential is there. Outside of that, just some gusty winds. I don't see anything severe wind-wise. I don't see anything tornadic at this point. So I think it's just going to be some hail, some rain, lightning, and thunder for you. Whoops. Hopefully, if these cells continue to fire up here out ahead of this, hopefully by the time that they get to a severe size, they'd be across the border in Kentucky. That's the hope, at least. We still got up here by Medora to go through as well. But we're getting close to sunset. We're about an hour away or so. So hopefully these storms are going to lose the heat of the day. And as they do lose the heat of the day, they would weaken. And outside this general area, I don't really see much in the way of anything severe happening. Up there by Bloomington, up there by Martinsville, back by Sullivan, Terre Haute. Let's go ahead and check back over here in Illinois just to make sure we're not missing anything here. These were dying last we checked on them. Let it load in here. Yeah, and they continue to die. There's not much to be concerned about over here heading our way for the Mount Carmel area. By Terre Haute as well, not see much of anything besides some lightning up there with those storms, so not too much of a concern for severe up there. Take it back down here to the Salem storm. Radar indicating an even lesser hail size now. Still over an inch, 1.07 inch hail being reported by radar. And again, it's not 100% accurate, but does give you a good idea of like, hey, we have some hail falling here, so just kind of watch out. But it is weakening. It is coming down. It was at about an inch. I think it was like 1.4 inches when I first looked at it. And now it's back down to about an inch, so that's good news. I wouldn't expect anything overnight tonight. Just some rain showers. I want to see severe weather threats over here in this localized area. I wouldn't be shocked to see a couple of rain showers, maybe a roll of thunder across the southern part of the state. Otherwise, that's about it. This whole threat should be over by that sunset, 8 or 9 o'clock. Not seeing much of anything on GR2, which is the other product I'm using, or the radar I'm using. I'm looking at 3 radars up here. So that is why I'm kind of looking back and forth, down, around. Got 4 screens going on tonight. Radar is indicating on the cell over here to the east, we could have some larger hail begin to fall over the Marysville, Otisco. I'm probably butchering that name, honestly. Henryville, Marysville, Nab areas. This cell right here Radar is indicating hail could be close or at an inch in diameter. Not seeing anything on the VIL on these storms, but I will say back here, that storm, the hail tracker, really exploded here on the last scan. That's what we're seeing our orange, reds, and purple colors. South of Salem, south town there got brushed by the larger hail. Looks like downtown was spared though, which is good news. That hail core is now moving on. Farabee, South Boston area right now. Again, current time on your screen there, 7:26 p.m. Eastern time. I will zoom out here. I would say keep an eye on this cell out to the east. In fact, speak of the devil. New warning now coming in for that cell. Quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Clark County, southern Scott County, and very south and western Trimble County. Literally, as I was about to say, keep an eye on the cell out ahead of it. 2 seconds later, there's the warning. Couldn't time it any better. So again, this is going to be over the areas of Henryville. We just went over this. Underwood, Henryville, Marysville, Nab, Otisco areas, moving to the east very slowly towards Otto, New Washington, and Hibernia. So 2 warnings in effect now. I'd also keep an eye on the cell up here to the north. If you guys are watching for the last 20 to 25 minutes or so, I highlighted these cells saying watch out for these. As this storm dies, outflow winds would feed into these cells and likely strengthen them. That could be a possibility, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. So would also watch the cell to the north. But for right now, we're going to keep it right here, animate that. I'm going to kick back here and get that new graphic posted. So Clark, Jefferson, and Scott County until 8 p.m. Eastern time on that new warning just issued. And they did also trim back the other warning. If you notice, the yellow box here on the original severe warning got kind of trimmed back to the east. And that is what they usually do as that storm progresses to the east. They'll trim that box to cut people from the warning to give them the all clear. So that is why you see the yellow box also shifted on that first warning it went live for. I don't want to do that. I want to get out of full screen. There we go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and check out the VIL on these. And yeah, there you go. Their hail core really exploded there. Let's go ahead and zoom into the road level here. Let's go ahead and get a road name on this. And I had to choose the most complicated word pronunciation I probably had to do tonight. Dieterlen Road. Henryville. You guys have some weird names down here. Henryville Otsego Road. Otisco. I don't even know. Is it Otis or Otis? Somebody in chat help me out. But that's going to move toward Marysville here. Stay Route 3. New Market, New Washington areas. This is going to be northern parts of Clark County. This is your hail tracker. The brighter colors, the yellows, orange, and especially reds. Purples and whites, if you get to that point, are the heaviest of hail cores. Going back over here to reflectivity, this cell is really exploding with hail here. Got some black showing up now on our reflectivity product there. There you go. That is very, very pronounced hail. Heavy rain at very least. Probably some at least dime to nickel size hail in that. Likely above quarters at this point, given we have very strong indications. Radar indicating $half size hail on this cell now. Otisco. Thank you, Ashley. Otisco. For those of you that don't know, we have Indiana guys on our staff. Caleb's usually the Indiana guy. He is en route to do some disaster relief for tomorrow and Saturday. So he had the first 3 hours of coverage earlier. Now it's just me. I got Joel in the background driving home to help me out as well. I'm from Michigan. I've chased Indiana many times. I got my first couple tornadoes in Indiana back in 2019. I'm familiar with the northern half, but southern half is not my strong suit. So I appreciate you guys helping pronunciations out as I learn all these cities and pronunciations. So bear with us, and bear with me especially. I will say the cell up here to the north is starting to intensify as well. Exactly what predicted about 30 minutes ago is what's happening now. We have cells around the cells becoming severe. So what's going to happen is this one's going to die off. This one's going to take over. It should be brief in nature, but luckily I don't think we're going to be looking at more severe weather as these will drift off into Kentucky here as the evening goes on. Going back further north here, got some popcorn showers still up here between Terre Haute and Bloomington. Should not be a huge concern. Let it load in here. Yeah, we're just kind of seeing some just showers at this point. I'm seeing lightning on these storms at this point. Radar indicating hail about 1.3 inches now heading into Otisco. I wonder if I can actually... I can. Cool. There we go. I can switch back and forth now easily between these two. So looking at my advanced radar software on this screen, we have the winds, we got the updraft, we got everything that we can track here on the screen now. Go ahead and change the 4-panel look here. Let's go ahead and take a look at all this. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be some big hail falling there, likely above a quarter size, heading just to the north of Otisco, between Nab and Otisco. Very pronounced hail signature there. You can even see it on radar here. Very pronounced downburst that's occurring with all that hail there. It happens to fall so fast, hits the ground, spreads outward. Likely gusty winds with this cell as well. Switching back over here to my other radar. Watch the cell again over here to the north. This could also become strong, if not severe. This warning is still in effect for 12 more minutes, goes until 7:45. The new warning expires at 8 p.m. Eastern, and no warning yet at this point on that particular cell south of Medora over the Rush Creek Valley area. Very pronounced hail core now. Wow. Radar indicating hail upwards of 1.5 inches in diameter. We'll see if they update this, honestly. Wouldn't be shocked if they upgrade this to $half size hail, perhaps ping pong ball size hail, 1.5 inch diameter if this continues. It shouldn't continue, though, as these storms they form quickly, they also die quickly. So we'll see. Radar indication 1.54 inch in diameter hail. That's going to be on this cell right here. All this purple here, and especially the black areas, but all the purple is indicating hail. Could be above a quarter size in diameter. Moving in toward the Marysville, Otisco, and Newmarket areas. Zooming way in here. State Route 3 about to be impacted. State Road 3 impacted here now over the next probably several minutes as this traverses off to the east. If you guys are in this area, likely experiencing some really strong winds, as well as likely large hail. So you guys do have reports of hail, wind, or whatever. If you do so safely, feel free to send that in to us via message. We also have a Facebook group, not a page, but a group called Indiana Storm Reports. You're welcome to pop those in there as well. Please be as detailed as possible. Time, location, event. So the time you took the photo, the video, the location of it. The event is also a great way to tell us, hey, this storm right here that went over me at this particular time, that's what we're looking for. We got Joel back with us now. I see Joel. I'm going to put you on cam too, Joel. I got nothing. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Your audio's not coming through, though, on desktop for me. Hold on. For some reason, my audio for desktop is not working for Discord. Whoops. I don't know, man. I got Joel Meyer behind me here. Try to unmute yourself on video. See if your audio comes through that way.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you now, Joel.
Yeah, I can't hear
but
you
your audio's
now,
coming
Joel,
through on OBS.
But your audio's coming through on OBS.
Oh, okay. Or you can see me.
Go ahead and unmute yourself on Discord.
Go ahead.
Your audio's not coming through anyway.
Discord. Your audio's not coming through anyway.
There you go. I should be able to hear you now.
There you go. I should be able to hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you. No. Having all sorts of
we'll give it a
issues.
shot.
All sorts of technical issues.
We'll give it a shot. Again, I'm not on my main computer, but I'm here, so you can see me.
Okay, perfect. Your audio's coming through, so we should be good to go now. Just had a huge hailstorm in Salem, Indiana. So much looks like snow. Pamela, take some pictures if you can do so safely. I'd be interested to see that. Feel free to comment or send it into us via Messenger on Facebook. Love to see that.
Love to see that.
So 2 warnings in effect here. I have an echo. Test. My audio's coming through on your end, Joel, for some reason. All right, one storm here does appear to be the most severe. That's going to be the one just got warned here. The one that is off to the west did die out. This one did become dominant.
I don't know what to do, Ryan. You might just have to lead the way, and then I'll mute myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we should be good to go now. I think I fixed it. So we should have the echo fixed and audio's fixed. Let us know how we sound.
Okay. Okay, because I'm coming through on just Discord.
Yep.
Switch to my phone and my AirPods, so it's a little bit better. We still got 2 warnings in effect, right?
Yeah, we have 2 warnings in effect here. The other one for Washington County, that storm has since died, but this one in the northern Clark County area is very, very potent right now with hail. Although since we've had the technical issues here, we got those fixed, the hail size has come down, which is good news, but we still see a lot of pink color here, which is indicating that we do have hail continuing over the northern half of Clark County. So Henryville, Underwood, Otisco, Nab, New Washington. Good news is the warning to the west just got dropped. So watch this yellow box here on the left side of your screen drop off here any moment. There it goes. Perfect. 1 warning now in effect for this storm. The storm to the north did not materialize, which is great news. This is the only storm at this point in time that appears to be concerning. Pop open the hail tracker on this. Not much there. I mean, we got some indication that, hey, there's hail falling, but there's nothing that's like, hey, bright, big hail. So that is good news. Greenfield tonight? Yeah, you're fine. Again, just some showers across the southern part of Trimble, Jefferson County, maybe, but otherwise, yeah, you're fine.
Go ahead and knock on wood and say this is probably going to be one of the last severe warnings of the night. Just judging by all the alpha boundaries starting to go away, starting to get into that nighttime period here too. A lot of the storms upstream towards southwestern Indiana are also they're okay, but they're not supportive of severe at the current time. So, and I don't think they're gonna. Updraft strength looks very weak.
They've been pretty weak over the last couple of scans as well. And checking on those last half hour or so, they're not really developing into anything. They're just kind of rain showers. So. I have to agree with you, Joel. I think this is going to be the last one of the night, unless one of the storms around this particular storm kind of blossoms like we do. We see a couple showers up here that could try to do something off the outflow. But the good news is it's about to cross over exiting the state regardless.
Mm-hmm. Kind of done a loop around Louisville sort of thing tonight. Louisville has been kind of unscathed, but severe warnings all around it.
I will say this: Louisville had their fair share of severe weather last year. They had so many tornadoes around the downtown area, so they need a break. And honestly, Indiana at 43, likely 44 tornadoes after today. That's more than double. 44 is double the average for tornadoes in the state of Indiana. So we need a break. But the unfortunate side of this is the late April time period looks to continue to activity here across the Great Lakes and the Midwest. So I don't think we're slowing down anytime soon. A break, yes, but in terms of long-term breaks for severe weather, no. So only one warning, no statements in effect here for the state of Indiana. This warning happens to be for the northern half of Clark County, the southern half of Scott County, the southwest part of Jefferson County, and I believe that is it.
Yeah, and in fact, for 10 more minutes, for those who might just be tuning in right now, 8 o'clock Eastern's when it expires. Quarter-sized hail, 6-mile-per-hour winds. Yeah, no tornadoes in this storm.
Thank you, Pamela. I'll take a look at that.
Humidity values at the surface here are around 40%. So there's a lot of dry air undercutting the storm now.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Roger Wood, Henryville, Otsi, Odisco. I know you guys were you're trying to pronounce it correctly when I was just jumping in here, but all those cities, along with Nab and New Washington, all underneath the severe thunderstorm warning right now. I would not be surprised if some localized flooding starts taking shape here, if it hasn't already. And the storms are sitting pretty much over the same spot tonight, with the lack of shear moving these storms along. So 15 miles per hour is the storm speed, although I would have to say that these storms are pretty much stationary. A little bit of a pulse forward to the east here as it crosses into Kentucky. It looks like heading towards Westport and Pendleton and LaGrange, Kentucky.
Also seeing the storm starting to weaken and die out, which is good news. So hopefully this is the last of our severe weather for the evening. Cross your fingers.
Right. Looking at the entire complex in general here, Ryan, there's a lot of that stratiform rain that's also disappearing off the radar, especially to the south and west of that severe thunderstorm. Again, it's drying out rather quickly as these storms continue to dwindle down here in the hours here. There's also a confirmed 1-inch hail report that just came in just to the northeast of Henryville just now. So that is a confirmed 1-inch hail report, making this a confirmed severe thunderstorm. And they'll likely let it expire at 8.
Yeah, I would imagine they're not going to extend this. But I will say we do have cells popping out in Kentucky now on the outflow of this storm. We also have developing cells back behind it. So we'll have to watch those as well. But the exact cell that's currently warned, as you can see, is going from purple to red, and now it's going back to a little bit yellow-orange color, which means it's weakening.
Quick reset. It is currently 7:55 p.m. Eastern, 6:55 Central, depending on what side of the state you're watching on. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzman alongside Ryan here, covering for you guys tonight. Severe weather down here in southern Indiana. Had what's likely to be a confirmed tornado earlier today, and a couple of damaging wind and especially damaging hail reports here as these pulse thunderstorms fire up and fire down along the outflow boundaries from previous storms throughout the day.
That is the word I was looking for earlier.
Shoot.
Pulse storms.
Pulse.
Pulse.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
So early signs of summer already here in April 10th. Sees a lot in June and July, especially up here in Michigan where our hometowns are. But we won't see any of that here for a while. So Indiana getting in on the action here early. And that kind of goes for more than one thing in terms of tornadoes as well. Obviously 44, 43 to start the year. And we've got 8 more months left to go.
Yeah, it's only April 10th. Indiana's peak severe season,
Mm-hmm.
end of May, June, July, August. So we got all that time to get through.
We'll be here covering them for you guys as much as we possibly can throughout 2025. So feel free to follow and like. A little bit of connection issues tonight, but those will get better in due time for sure. Still working out a little bit of our connection things on our end. So, and we will be here covering every single thunderstorm from beginning to end. Similar policy in Michigan. If you are watching from Michigan or know anybody in Michigan, we are also Michigan Storm Chasers. So follow us here on IWO and MSC, and you'll be covered for both states.
Once this warning expires here in 3 minutes, we're going to pop out. I'm going to try and fix some connection issues. I don't think the severe threat is high with these 2 storms behind it, but I'll watch them here regardless. They do have some strengthening to them. We'll see what happens, but once this warning pops off, we're going to end our stream at 8 p.m. and go back live in the event of another severe storm warning gets issued. And hopefully, if we do go live again, the connection issues that we had are fixed. So, about 90 seconds left here on our coverage. So, just want to say thank you for tuning in. This storm, anything out there right now at this point in time on radar, you look on your screen, does not look severe, even though there's a warning in place. I think that storm is weakened. Lightning, heavy rain is your main threat with that. Back over here to the north and west, we do have some of those pop-up showers that continue between Terre Haute and Bloomington. This one actually looks to be strengthening just a tad bit there, but still does not look to be anything close to severe limits. That is all that's out there currently. So once this warning expires at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to pop out. Like I said, we'll pop back in the event of another warning getting issued.
There it goes.
Did it pop off?
Yeah, it did on my end. If you want to throw up the all clear banner.
And
Right at
there
8.
it goes. All right. With that being said, we are going to pop out of here, and we'll catch you guys in the event any of these storms happen to get an attitude, as Caleb always says. We'll pop back on.
Ryan, you do probably want to go. You want to go over that special weather statement real quick before we pop off. They just issued one there for Indiana into Kentucky.
So that's going to be for wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, as well as nickel-size hail. And that's likely as the storm continues to weaken. And also we have some storms pushing that direction. So kind of probably a statement for both storms. We'll watch it. And we'll go live again if anything gets warned. But at this point in time, that is going to be it.
Should be good
for the evening. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will see you guys next time here at IWO. You guys stay safe.
See everyone. Have a good night.